How's it going, everybody? I'm Shane, and I'm here to give you another Mashle Magic and Muscles episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode 9, Mash Burndead, and the accelerated battle. So before I go any further, let me accelerate through this opening part. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos such as this one. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers because I love doing this, and I want this to be my job. But no, seriously, trying to get to 1,000. I appreciate each and every last one of you that even takes the time to watch this video, no matter how long you watch it. Although, I love it when you watch it to the end, but I appreciate every last one of you. So, with that being said, today's episode, remember last week when it was, oh man, we beat the one dude, the gatekeeper. Ghostbusters, Joe. I'm the gatekeeper. Beat the gatekeeper. And I found out that Dot's voice actor does the voice of Green Oak. Yes, the character Green Oak from Pokemon. His name's not Blue, it's Green. It's Green, guys. He does the voice of him, and I think he also does the voice of Lloyd Forger from Spy Family. It's all connected. It's all connected. But regardless of such, the guys got split up. It's a 2v2 against Love Cute and Milo Geniuses. My little genius. And then we have Lance versus Wirth, and we have Mash versus Abyss Razor, your favorite 80s wrestler. So off the bat, we have our big wigs battle first. What I mean by big wigs, arguably the two strongest of our group are Goku and Vegeta, our main character. Sorry, Dot. Our first guy, Mash. We see Mash fight, and we get Lance fights first. Does that mean that the other two get their butts whooped? Does that mean we gotta save them? I hope that doesn't mean that. Oh, please don't let that mean that. But we have those two fights. So let's talk about Lance's fight. The theme of today's episode is called Abuse and Therapy. My God. So we'll go over Wirth. Wirth's magic ability is mud. It's mud. Dude makes mud clones. He slings hardened, thick mud balls. Can make mud spikes as he's being slammed with ravioli, formioli against walls and stuff. He's able to instantly turn it into mud, lets him sink in, gets rid of the impact. He gives us a lot of exposition here, and you feel bad for this guy because I want to call him a kid. You feel bad for this kid because his father is a grade A hole. Like, we see flashbacks of just, he's working hard, he's studying hard, he got the double lines, and his dad's talking about aptitude and achievements and all that stuff matters. But then he says, at the end of the day, you even becoming a divine visionary is not enough to prove to me that you are worthy of being called my creation. Mother, did you just call your own kid your creation? Like, not even in a cutesy way. What in the hell? This world is shit. Putting it out there. You have from episode 1, you have shown that this magical world where the magic is called God's gift, that's going to come into play in a minute. This world is just horrible. And so that's his whole deal. When Lance is showing that he has aptitude, kind of beats around his way of beating gravioli, saying, yeah, your family does the thing with the gravity and they're top notch. You should just join us, man. You could be one of our lowers. That's the best I can give you. But yeah, because he's talking about being in the Magius Lupius, you get the best of everything, the best potions, the best education, the best of everything. And when you put in an environment around people that you are like, you get better and you excel. Now here's the sad truth of what he's saying. He is not wrong. He's out of line, but he actually is not wrong. It's the whole thing of lie down with dogs, come up with fleas, birds of a feather, they flock together. Harsh reality or harsh truth of life is if you hang out with bad folks, you tend to become bad. Cough, cough, him being in Maggie or lupus. But that's just when you hang out with like-minded people, that is what's going to be fostered. This is why a lot of times in our real world, hang out with those who can teach you something. Hang out with those who have the best in mind for you. Hang out with those who genuinely care about you and will not judge you, no matter what you choose to do with your life, no matter who you are in this life. Those are the best people to be around. So he's right, just not in the way that he means. And it's interesting because Lance goes, that's funny. Lance says two things that are cool. One, he goes, no environment that I'm in can overshadow the his conviction. He's doing it all for his sister. It doesn't matter where he's at. He's gonna excel regardless because he has a goal. And then he also says, he said, you talk about your environment making you stronger. Pretty sure that my environment is actually better than yours. That is funny because it says Atlas trash. I love the back and forth because when he's saying, you don't get it, Atlas trash, he says, oh, you don't get it. Lance goes, oh, you don't get it. What I'm saying is where I'm at is better than you, right? Where I'm at here. It says the environment becomes stronger. Oops, I already said that. And then we get a new level of magic. It's called the second, right? This guy does Maduro's second. It makes a mud demon. Maduro devious. Literally looks like the devil. The devil with the horns. The Baphomet. That's exactly what it looks like. We get some exposition here. All magic has tiers. Basic magic, personal magic, and then the more advanced conditional magic. He says secondeth is different from magic used by single line users. And it's a thing that double line scores can use. It's a higher tier that only certain doubles can do. And we, again, that's when we got the flashback about his worth, your worth only being about your magical aptitude and things like that nature. And he calls Lance's friends flunkies. That's when Lance is like, only I can call them flunkies. Those are my flunkies. And he does, because he's telling him you can't get this level because you're with them. And he does the gravioli, show me the formioli second. And big purple chains pop up. I like that the gravity. It's funny. Gravity is purple on a lot of these. Been watching a lot of One Piece, like I've been saying. And my man Fujitora, who literally means purple tiger, his energy signature is purple. So gravity, purple. He does this torture pole. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 poles. Like they look like they look like that. Oh, wait. They look like that if you are able to zoom in. They have these chains. They have these purple orbs. And you notice the mud demons being dragged towards each of these. And the one on the top is dragging them. And he says, yeah, you're right what these do. They have their own gravitational pull. And when they're pulling something all at one time, it's going to make it rip apart. And he easily destroys dude's best magic attack. And Lance tells him, he throws a book at him. He's like, I think that's your book. I'm guessing dude dropped a book and Lance read through how to do all this stuff. Genius. And he tells Wirth, so funny that his name is Wirth with a W-I, worried about his worth, having to pump himself up saying, no, I earned my right to be here. It's been destined, but I earned my right? And Lance tells him, I don't like what comes out of your mouth, and I don't like your actions, but I respect all the hard work that you've done. Then he walks off on him. And Guy's just looking, I didn't even, he doesn't finish his sentence, but I'm assuming that he didn't even work this hard so he can even join Magius Lupus. He didn't do all this to even prove his worth. He did it, I'm assuming, for himself. And he says, "Stupid punk. I'm not looking for your respect," but lets him go. It's like it's not much else he can do now. It's not like he had physically gotten his butt whooped. It's just his toughest spell was broken by this guy who you thought his environment had hindered him. Not this, says I. Now let's talk about Mash's fight. Again, all about therapy. Our guy, Abyss Razor, our favorite 80s wrestler, who uses a blade. He said he was like Mash, right? Very misleading. Because he's not like Mash in that way. He's like Mash in a way that the world hates them. That eye he has. Mash even says he doesn't know what that eye is after he broke the mask off of him. And Mash is such a good boy. He's like, "I'm sorry, go in aside." Bows, and he's like, "Yeah, don't feel bad. I'm gonna tell you what it is." So here's the deal with this guy. He has what's called the evil eye, the eye of the devil, because anyone that this eye gazes upon temporarily loses their magic, and that is what makes him abhorrent, an evil thing. That's why they call it the devil's eye, because magic is God's gift, although it's kind of looking like an evil type of thing because everyone acts like an asshole who has it. But yes, and he wasn't born necessarily with it. When he was very young, it developed, and it's in this is my left side, in his left eye. And his old parents hated it and was shocked, right? Kind of going back to that first fight. Even Lance was telling our guy Wirth, I grew up, my parents cared about social standing and position. Sound like you and I grew up exactly the same. In here, this guy's parents cared about it too. So much to the point where they locked our boy Abyss Razor into a cell and fed him food like he was a prisoner, because naturally he's going to be hated and loathed by people in a world where he's supposed to use magic. And one night his parents tried to kill him. Now we don't know what happened with that. I'm going to either assume that they failed and he escaped, or he killed them. He didn't say he killed them, but yeah, poor guy. His light blue hair, nice. I actually like this character, right? And so his magic is accelerates. He makes arrows and it makes him go fast. So he's zooming around with the sword, slicing up Mash, and all Mash is doing is blocking. And he says, you must have been very blessed, because you have no magic, but you're fighting for a family, right? And he's fighting for his friends. And Mash even agrees later on, like, yeah, I am very blessed. But he's very blessed because they had two different ways of being brought up, even though they're both hated. Like, non-magical children are cold. You know what cold is? It's just, I don't know how you can be in a world where you can just look at your kid, oh, you ain't got no magic, you're good as being dead. Wow. But he also shows Mash Limon, who's in this weird demonish looking contraption, and he says, yeah, her magic's gonna be drained in 30 minutes and she's gonna lose that mark. No magic, she'll be like you and you'll be happy, right? And Mash is like, okay, well, if that's the case, I'm gonna have to smash that mask off your face, right? They get to battling with Mr. Zippity Doodah. He even stabs Mash. He's doing a lot of talking. He's doing tons of talking, and Mash is abs are so toned, dude clenches up, holds him there, and gets a punch in, which prompts this guy. We see his face. He has the double line score, so he does his secondith, which is Excel Rays Sphere, which makes a dome force field. We see arrows pointing down and arrows pointing up. Mash gets an arrow pointing down, which significantly slows him. He gets an arrow pointing up, which allows him to move zippity doo dah fast. Well, since Mash is moving slow, but it doesn't reduce his power, he punches the ground, curves it up, and makes it a narrow pathway so he can hit this guy, and Mash just steps on his foot. And he's like, I caught you a second time. And now we are treated to hold on, I gotta find it. Full Muscles Magic. Hurricane Rush. Uppercuts this guy and breaks him out of the force field. And he is basically pulling off a Marvel vs. Capcom Dragon Ball style ping pong back and forth, punching and kicking this guy and beating his butt. What's the Hurricane Rush? It's what's different moves? His does a knees to the back, glutes, and it's funny because Abyss is going. He shattered my spell with ridiculous violence. Gotta love it. Good boy does the violence. And he's like, if I lose here, basically if he loses here, there's no use to him being around. He at least did what Mr. Abel did, because at least he could be a tool for someone, right? Because he truly believes he doesn't deserve to be born. Again, thinking back to One Piece, it's something that Ace said, but the dude feel like he shouldn't have been born. Glutes was a knee to the back, but yeah, the knee to the back does forearm, quadriceps, pectorals, iliopopus, and he grabs him and looks like he does. I couldn't tell if he did a German suplex or an Izuna drop, but he drops this guy straight down. And after he tells his tale, he's just kind of grabbing on that eye. Matt's like, you know what, you're right. I was pretty blessed. I couldn't even begin to put myself in your shoes, but we could be friends. And guys going, don't even waste your breath. You're a good guy. So I'm gonna warn you, don't go forward. All right, that dude is strong. You can't beat him. And besides, over time, you're gonna despise me too for this eye. You're gonna change your mind. And Mash, just like he said in the very beginning, none of this matters because he has to save Lemon. He's gonna save Limon, right? And Mash said, I'm gonna give him a good walloping. He uses such weird words. And by the way, I'm not gonna change my mind. And dude's like, what? He's like, look, no matter how much the world loathes your eye or what others think about you, my attitude towards you is not going to change. And of course, he laughs and calls him a strange guy. And next episode is going to be Mash, Burndead, and the Divine Visionary. So what about Dot and Finn? Did they lose, or are they going to still be fighting while Mash goes after the main guy? Fights were really good in this episode. My goodness. I don't even know what to grade this. Like I'm ping ponging between 4 and a 5. I really want to give it a 5 because that's really good. That's really good. I wasn't expecting both of them to begin their fight first. I thought it would be an episode per person, and instead we get one half is Lance, one half is Mash. Just because my what's what I'm looking for? Just because my expectations were shattered, I want to give this a 5. Great animations, first of all. Amazing fight, amazing voice work. The Mash rap, I don't know how many times I've ever mentioned it, but the Mash rap is great. It's all in English. Reminds me of Persona. I love it. These early on villains or antagonists being, oh man, our families suck and we are technically product of our environment. I kind of like it. It's pretty good. That means when we get to the next level of villainy, that means they are truly going to be a-holes, right? That means these are people that are like, yeah, I know it's wrong and I love it. I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. But I give it a 5. It's a 5 from me. No lower than a 4, but I'm giving it a 5. I enjoyed this a lot. Matter of fact, these last 3 episodes smushed together, pretty good stuff. Please let me know what you think of this episode of Mashle, Magic and Muscles. Leave a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. Do not forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this. I want to know what other muscly things Mash is going to come up with to beat Mr. Puppet Man that we saw in the intro, right? This is episode 9. I wonder if we're gonna get 12 episodes and then a break. I wonder, just wondering. But I wonder what we've seen full body magic, we've seen triceps magic. I'm gonna have to go back and write all the magic we've seen from MASH, but next episode looks like it's gonna be pretty good. Although if it's a fight with Dot and Finn, I wouldn't be mad at that either. I'm just surprised we got those two fighting first, breaking the formula, I tell you. Well, guys, thank you for taking some time out to listen to me talk about Mashle, magic, and muscles. Please be safe out there. Be good to yourselves. Be good to others. Either way it goes, don't be a jerk. Please. All right. Take care of yourselves. Please realize that the most important thing is that you are not alone. There are people out there that care about you. Reach out to someone. There's someone out there that would rather talk to you today than miss you and mourn you tomorrow. All right. All right. My social media is right there in the description. Feel free to follow me. Well, guys, until next time, I'm Shane, and we're gonna muscle our way into next week.